What is up? What is up? What is up, awesome people of the internet? Hello, hello, hello. And welcome to a live edition of Women's Basketball Weekly, your number one source for all things related to women's basketball. I am so happy that you all have joined me here today. Whether or not you're live or you're watching later, doesn't matter. Thank you so much for joining and hopping on as we talk about women's basketball some more. So today we got a lot to talk about. Okay, so the WNBA season kicks off tomorrow, so lots of stuff to talk about in that regard. We're going to give two previews for two of the teams, and we're going to do the rest of them later. But we're going to have two team recaps. Previews, I should say, for the Dallas Wings and the Las Vegas Aces. We're going to go through the different cuts that was made today because there were some very, very, very tough cuts made today where teams had to get down to the final last 11 and 12 players on their rosters. So we're going to get into that. We're also going to talk about the week one season preview. We're going to talk about some of the games that you all might want to watch and how you'll be able to watch those games. We're going to talk about the charter flights fiasco that is still happening right now, and the town hall that the WNBA is having with their players. Yeah, there's a lot to get into. Lisa Bluder also has announced her retirement. We're going to get into that. We're also going to talk about Candice Dupree, who got a new job, and it's pretty exciting. So we're going to talk about Candice Dupree and her journey in the WNBA and how that's led her to this new position that she is at right now. We're also going to talk about a huge announcement that I have for the channel. We're going to save that for the end, so make sure you all stay tuned for that. But lots and lots of amazing stuff to talk about, guys. I hope that you all are ready for it because it's about to happen. It's about to happen, okay? So Women's Basketball Weekly, the live edition, starts right now. All right. And we begin with transactions. Lots of players have been cut from the WNBA, and we're just going to go through the sheer amount of cuts that were made. So in the last 2 days, it has been crazy with the amount of cuts. Also, guys, as you all are hopping in and joining the conversation, I hope that you all would be interested in hitting that like button. That'd be huge for this channel. Please hit that like button. That would be really great, and it'll help more people find the channel. Okay, so let's get into it. So lots of cuts. All right, so it was announced today that Julie Allemand has decided to sit out for the 2024 season due to personal reasons. I was not totally expecting her to actually play in the U.S. this year just because there is a conflict because the Olympics is happening this year. She wants to for sure play for her national team. And, you know, there's an injury factor. There's injury risk about playing in the WNBA when your national team actually has a pretty good chance of making some stuff happen for the Olympics. So it makes sense why Julie Allemand decided to sit out. But yeah, that is something to note. Damiris Dantas was temporarily suspended from the Indiana Fever. She is going to be a late join for the Fever. Right now, the Fever has 13 players on their roster, and the reason why is because they did temporarily suspend Damiris Dantas. So technically, she's still on the roster, but not really. She is temporarily suspended, and she will rejoin the Indiana Fever very soon. But right now, she's not with the team. She's temporarily suspended. And Victoria Saxton also is still on the team because of that. My assumption is once Damiris Dantas actually returns to the squad, they will waive Victoria Saxton. They're going to likely waive Victoria Saxton once Damiris Dantas returns from her temporary suspension. All right. Also, the Las Vegas Aces have doubled down on Kirsten Bell. She is a now two-time champion for the Las Vegas Aces. They did decide to exercise their option. That is something that teams do for her fourth year option is exercised. That means she is going to stay with the Las Vegas Aces for a little bit longer. Okay. Going further down, we also see more players getting temporarily suspended. Again, very similar to the Indiana Fever. Lorella Kubai has been temporarily suspended from the Atlanta Dream. She is technically on the roster, but she's been temporarily suspended, and so that way the team is able to keep an extra player until she returns, and then they'll waive that player. Also, Dorka Juhas was temporarily suspended for the Minnesota Lynx as well. So similar thing. In terms of players getting waived, there was a whole bunch of that. Jocelyn Willoughby was waived by the Connecticut Sun. Not totally surprised about that one. Sydney Weiss was also waived by the Connecticut Sun. Now, here's one that I was kind of surprised about. Brenna Maxwell was waived by the Chicago Sky. Now, this is one where I was somewhat surprised because I thought that they were just going to try to, ride the injury bug and deal with Brenna Maxwell being out for several weeks due to injury. But this is one of those things. When you get injured during training camp, sometimes you get cut, especially if you haven't really proven yourself on the W stage yet. And that's something that Brenna Maxwell hasn't been able to do. So Kaiser Gondrzik did get that final spot for the Chicago Sky, and Brenna Maxwell was cut. It's likely that we will see her in the future for the WNBA for sure, but right now she is not with a team. She did get cut. Monique Billings also was cut by the LA Sparks. Not totally surprised about that one. Joyner Holmes was waived by the Seattle Storm. Esmery Martinez was waived by the New York Liberty. Also, a fan favorite, Jalen Sherrod, was cut from the New York Liberty. Now, this one was one where I saw a lot of people upset about this one on social, and I get it. Jalen Sherrod has a lot of energy. She has a lot of defensive presence, and she is kind of what this New York Liberty team actually needed. But they did decide to cut her. And I totally believe that Jalen Sherrod and Esmery Martinez will both be in the WNBA in the future. But this is one of those hard things where sometimes the younger player does get the short end of the stick in terms of, sometimes where teams will pick some of the older, more seasoned players over the younger players, even though the younger players may pose a lot of possibilities and opportunities for the team in the future. So this is one of those things where sometimes it happens and it's not fun, but it's the name of the game. Cuts are the name of the game, especially during training camp period. All right, let's continue on. On Sunday, we saw a huge host of players getting waived. Kiana Traylor was waived by the Minnesota Lynx. Cameron Taylor was waived also by the Lynx. Kylene Trong was waived by the Washington Mystics. Jakia Brown-Turner was also waived by them. And Alyssa Cunane was waived by the Washington Mystics as well. For the Dallas Wings, they did decide to waive Veronica Burton. Blake Dietrich was waived by the LA Sparks. Mackenzie Forbes was waived by the LA Sparks. Nia Clowndon was waived also by the LA Sparks. Now, here's one thing. I just want to do a quick aside real quick. There's a lot of players who are getting cut, and it's not fun. But I will say it's even tougher for those players to miss graduation, to be in training camp for a team, and then still get cut. Now, this is one of those things where Mackenzie Forbes, she was at training camp, so she couldn't make it to her graduation. And the LA Sparks, they held a fake graduation for her. And that was very, very nice. That was pretty awesome. If you all see the video of it, it's nice what they did for her, but it's also kind of sad that she didn't walk at graduation, and other players, not just Mackenzie Forbes, didn't walk at graduation. And then you wind up a couple of days later getting cut when they could have just told you earlier and you could have actually went to graduation. So it's one of those things, but players get cut. It's the name of the game. It's no fun, but that's the reality of where we are. That is the reality of where we are. I do just want to do some quick cuts on Saturday. So on Saturday, we saw quite a few players also get cut. Liz Dixon was cut. Air Hearn was cut. Maya Hollingshed was cut from the Phoenix Mercury. And also the Seattle Storm traded Jade Melbourne to the Washington Mystics. All right, that is your general recap for the players who got cut. These are the final cuts for the WNBA. Now let's kind of talk about what y'all got to say, because guys, we are going to be moving from point to point to point. So I'm going to just talk about a couple of chats that you all have, and then I'm going to move on to the Dallas Wings preview. Okay. All right. So let's get into it. CAC says, I wish they let them go to their graduation for everyone. I wish they scheduled it that you had at least 2 weeks off. Yeah, I mean, that's the tough part, especially because the WNBA has the Olympic break in between. That's one of the hard parts. So that's likely why she wasn't able to miss a day and go to her graduation, right? Because the timeline is condensed because of the Olympic break. All right, so that's something that we all have to sort of keep in mind. It's not fun, but it is what it is. Bad Betty says WNBA is ruthless. I mean, it is what it is. Yeah. I mean, professional sports is ruthless. Professional sports is ruthless. You will see players get cut. It's no fun, but this is what happens. This is what happens in the WNBA. Brenda says WNBA is crazy. They'd be like, congrats, you're graduated. Psych. Yeah. I mean, I get you, but that's professional sports for you. That is professional sports for you. All right, JB says, I felt really bad to see Jalen Sherrod get cut. Felt like she didn't have much of a chance considering she was productive in her preseason minutes and looked really good and still got cut. I mean, JB, the problem is there's a lot of vets on the New York Liberty that Sandy Brondello was not willing to cut. Even though Jalen Sherrod put in some really good minutes, there really wasn't really anything she could have done to really gain a spot, or else you're cutting one of the vets, and I didn't think that was going to happen for the New York Liberty. So it's unfortunate, but that's a part of life. That is a part of life. All right, guys. Let's continue on. With the next topic, which is the Dallas Wings preview. All right, so guys, the Dallas Wings. Let's talk about this squad. Let's talk about the squad. So again, the WNBA season kicks off tomorrow. We saw a wave of cuts, and finally, the Dallas Wings roster has gotten to a point where they are all good to go. All right, and if you are wondering, here is a breakdown of the players who made the roster and the main things you all need to know about them. And guys, since I'm going to be going through every single player, I'm not going to pause and take comments after every single player, but at the end of the Dallas Wings section, I'm going to take a pause and get you all's comments in there about the Dallas Wings. So leave your comments in the chat, and I'll try my best to get to it, okay? So last year, the Dallas Wings welcomed a new head coach in Latricia Trammell, and they had some very, very quick success. They went 22-18 on the season last year, finishing in 4th place in the league, which is their best finish ever since they moved to Dallas. So the Wings became the Dallas Wings in 2016. And since then, they have never been 4th place except for last year. Last year was the first year. So the Dallas Wings they're building something very, very special. They made it to the semifinals in the playoffs last year until they got swept by the eventual winners, the Las Vegas Aces. Now, last year, Dallas, in my opinion, turned the corner. And we got a glimpse of what their high octane offense actually could look like with a little bit more structure. And that's what Coach Trammell brought in. She brought a little bit more structure that allowed this team to thrive. Yes, they were healthy, which was a huge benefit from last season. But everything started to really work together. You had Satu Sabali, who was healthy, ready to go, won most improved player, was really good. You also had Arike Agumbawale, who, yes, scores with the best of them, but also, in my opinion, did really up her teamwork in terms of her passing the ball to her players, her teammates, and we saw her assist numbers go up last season for Arike Agumbawale. You also have Tierra McCowan, who just is a big woman in the middle who gives great minutes and has really found her niche at the Dallas Wings. Okay, so all of that, those three players and a great head coach really transformed this team that was not very good. They had promises, right? Lots, I heard the term Dallas University mentioned a lot on social media. They were a team that was like had talent but could never quite get it together. Last year, I felt like they were on the verge of really getting it together. And they look very special at times. And now it's time for them to continue on and see what they can do onto this next year. Coach Latricia Trammell is looking to keep her offense rolling. She's also looking to add a little bit more of a consistent defensive presence for the team. And she's looking to do so with the finalized roster for the Dallas Wings. So let's go player by player and let's talk about the 2024 Dallas Wings roster. Now, of course, we are going to start with their best player, number 0, Satu Sabali. Satu Sabali really was the X factor last season for this Wings team, but unfortunately, she comes into this season injured. In February, Satu was playing in the FIBA Olympic qualifying tournament, and she injured her shoulder. She had a shoulder surgery, and according to Wings CEO Greg Bibb, he said, "We expect Satu to come back around the Olympic break, be ready to compete for Germany in the Olympics, and then see her for sure in a Dallas jersey over the final 15 games of the regular season post-Olympic break." So that's what Wings CEO Greg Bibb is saying. He does believe that we will see Satu Sabali for the second half of the year. Now, having her for the second half of the year would be absolutely huge. Yes, it's even better to have her for the full year, but even having her for half a year, that's very much important for this squad, because they really thrive when Satu Sabali is on the court and she's healthy. You saw what they were able to do last year, and the second half of the season is really going to be key for this Dallas Wings team. Now, in terms of what Satu can actually do on the court, yeah, it's big. Last year, she averaged 18.6 points a game. She also shot 43.5% from the field, which is really good. She also grabbed 8.1 rebounds a game. So here's the thing. I think that the Dallas Wings is a good team. Is a great team with a healthy Satu Sabali, and is a good team without her. And so the key for this team is going to be, can they do enough to be decent by the time Satu returns? Like, to me, that really is the key, because once Satu returns and she's healthy, they're going to kick it into gear and they're going to look good. But can they make it without her long enough to actually still be viable once she comes back? I think that's the key part for this Dallas Wings team. All right, so yeah, is she gonna actually return for the second half of the year? I have my doubts, but Greg Bibb believes that she will. I'm not totally sure about that, but we'll see. We will see. The surgery she had is, it's a shoulder surgery is serious, and it depends on if she's going to be able to get back in time. All right, next up, we're going to go over to the player that I believe is going to be a huge backstop for this Dallas Wings team while Satu is out. And that is Jaylen Brown. Because the Dallas Wings have added a great player to their roster in Jaylen Brown. No, this is not the Boston Celtics. Jaylen Brown, that Jaylen Brown is spelled Jaylen. This is Jaylen Brown, Jaelyn. And she is a rookie with the Dallas Wings. Though, random fact, both Jaylens, the Boston Celtics version of Jaylen and the Dallas Wings version, both of them went to Cal, which is like kind of wild. They both went to Cal, both play basketball, and yeah. So for the most part, when you are searching for Jaylen Brown, the Dallas Wings player, for the most part, most of your search is going to result in Jaylen Brown, the Boston Celtics player. So that's something to just sort of keep in mind, okay? If you're looking for this version of Jaylen Brown, always make sure to put Wings at the end of your search, because otherwise you're not gonna find her. All right. So here's why Jaylen Brown, Jaelyn, has ended up with the Dallas Wings. So the reason why is because she has been bowling overseas. She graduated in 2021 from Cal. She was not drafted. No team picked her up. And so she did what a lot of players do. They head overseas. They head overseas and see what they can make happen and see if eventually they can make their return back to the United States. And Jaylen balled out. She played in Sweden. She played in Hungary before moving over to Turkey, where last season she played for a team named Hatay, where over a 7-game stretch, Jaylen averaged 21.7 points a game, 10.1 rebounds a game, and 2.9 assists a game. Yeah, it's pretty good. That's pretty good. And that was enough to convince the Dallas Wings to sign Jaylen to a training camp contract in February. And this was a decision that truly was perfect for the squad, because you saw in that one preseason game for the Dallas Wings, Jaylen Brown can ball. She can absolutely ball. Yes, it was preseason, so you can't extrapolate too much from that. But you can really see her potential. She had 21 points in that game against the Indiana Fever, and she looked like the best player for the Dallas Wings. You can see a lot of potential that Jaylen Brown has, and I am very much happy that she has made a roster in the W. And this is just another example of what players can do to get to the W. There's lots of unconventional ways to get to the W. You don't have to be drafted. You don't have to. And the fact that Jaylen was able to get seen overseas, made a training camp roster, and ultimately will be on the final roster for the Dallas Wings, that's huge. And it just is another great sign of resilience and sign of a player who just is going to put it all out there for their dream to come true, which is playing in the U.S. So that is absolutely huge. All right, next up for the Dallas Wings, let's talk about Sevgi Unen. She is another player who decided, she's from overseas, but she actually decided to play for a team called Fenerbahce, and she was balling over there. Right, she was discovered also overseas by the Dallas Wings. Sevgi is a 5'10" guard from Turkey. Again, she does play for Fenerbahce, which is one of the best teams in Europe right now, where she was in the starting lineup. And she was the starting shooting guard for Fenerbahce. And this is a team that had the likes of Emma Miesemann, Nafisa Collier, Natasha Howard in their starting lineup. So, yeah, Sevgi is a really good player. And in the KBSL, which is where Fenerbahce plays, in the KBSL this past season, Sevgi averaged 9.8 points a game and 5.2 assists per game. She can play some good defense as well, so that is something to absolutely look out for. And I am very much looking forward to seeing her play for the Dallas Wings. Not only Not only can she be a shooting guard, she can also be a point guard if they need her to be. And she can play some defense, which is definitely something that Latricia Trammell is interested in. All right, continuing on, let's sort of keep going down the list. And let's talk about we have newbie Lou Lopez Senesaw for the Dallas Wings this year. Now, Lou was drafted last year to the Dallas Wings with the number 5 pick, but due to injury, she did sit out and rehabbed. And now this year, she is raring to go for the Dallas Wings. Now, one of the big things about Lou is her ability to shoot the 3-point basket. And that's why the Dallas Wings drafted her so high last year. In her last season with UConn, Lou averaged 15.5 points a game and shot a whopping 44% from the 3-point line. So she is absolutely going to be absolutely crucial for this Dallas Wings team this season. Because yes, I talked about earlier, their high octane offense, and they drafted Lou Lopez Senesaw, who can shoot the 3. Yes, they didn't have her last year, but they saw the vision, and they were like, hey, we're gonna draft you even though you're likely not gonna play for us this season, last season. And she's on their squad this year. She is raring to go. She is healthy, and it is going to be very, very fun to see what Lou can do. All right, continuing on with the final rookie. We have a true rookie for this Dallas Wings team. We have J.C. Sheldon. J.C. Sheldon was the 5th pick in this year's draft for the Dallas Wings. Now, here is the reason why I believe that Coach Latricia Trammell actually decided to draft J.C. so high. The reason why is her ability to slot right into what the Dallas Wings need. They need someone who can play the point guard position if they need to. They also need a shooter, and they need someone who can play defense. And that's what J.C. Sheldon can do. That is what J.C. Sheldon can do. She can play some defense, which is what they need. You talk about some of the players for the Dallas Wings. Enrique is not seen as like the best defender. Same thing for Lou Lopez, right? Like there's players on this team that is that are more focused on shooting and scoring and whatnot. And I think having a player like a J.C. Sheldon, who really is known for her ability to play some defense, but also is someone who is known for being able to pass the ball as well, and also is able to look for her shot if she needs to shoot. This past season for Ohio State, we saw JC average 17.8 points a game, and defensively she could be a menace, and she can guard the opposing guards, making them work for everything they get, and also she can get some steals while she at it. So that is your look at some of the players for the Dallas Wings. Now I don't have graphics for everybody else, but I'm going to talk about everybody else. So next up we have Maddie Siegrist, who is entering her 2nd year in the WNBA. She is a 6'2" forward who was drafted as the number 3 pick in the WNBA draft last season. Now here's the thing about Maddie. Last year I thought Maddie was okay. Right? She didn't get a bunch of minutes for the team. And when she got in, she wasn't bad, but overall, I didn't think it was anything overly impressive. Last year, she averaged 8.2 minutes a game and scored 3.7 points a game. This year, I do believe she's going to take a turn, and she's going to be more of a scoring threat for the squad. And really is going to be someone who will get more minutes than she did last year, and will have an elevated role than the rookie version of Maddie Siegrist. Next up, we have Stephanie Soares, who was another player that was drafted last season, and she was the number 4 pick. She was acquired by the Dallas Wings on draft night, and like Lou, Stephanie missed the entirety of last season. She was recovering from an ACL surgery, and now that she is healthy, she is raring to go. And guys, Stephanie is 6'6". All right, 6'6", Stephanie Soares. And she will join the trees of the Dallas Wings. And if you are confused about who I mean when I'm talking about trees, well, you already had 2 6'7" players on your squad. Now Stephanie Soares is healthy and she's on the squad. So you have a total of three players taller than 6'6". It's kind of amazing. It's kind of amazing. Stephanie Soares is going to be really, really good for this squad. She did have a year to rehab, but also just sort of get a better look at the WNBA and try to get that mentality raring to go. And I think she's going to be a fun player to watch this season. Is she going to get a ton of minutes? Not that many minutes, but I do anticipate her getting at least, close to 8 to 10 minutes a game. And so we're going to see what she's able to do. And she's going to be joined by the trees. And when I talk about trees, I mean, you kind of have to start with, the former number 3 pick in the WNBA draft, 6'7", Teaira McCowan. So for the last 2 years, Teaira has been with Dallas. And to me, she has really, really thrived. She's found her groove with this Dallas Wings team. And she's a fun player to watch. She is a defensive threat. She can get at you with these blocks. Last year, she averaged 1.2 blocks a game. She also can score some points as well. We saw her average 11.9 points a game last year. She also had 9.1 rebounds a game last year. And I'm looking forward to what more Teaira McCowan can do to improve and get better as a player. Because yes, Teaira McCowan can be dominant at times, but her potential is still through the roof. It still is through the roof, and she is just now getting a portion to where I think she's going to go ultimately when her career is over. Because she does have a lot of the intangibles that it takes to become a fantastic big man in the WNBA. All right, let's continue on. Let's continue on to talk about another tree for the Dallas Wings. We have Kalani Brown, 6'7", Kalani Brown. She was, Kalani Brown is a player who can come off the bench for Teaira McCowan, or sometimes actually even being at the same time as Teaira, and she can give you some good minutes. Last year, she averaged 16.4 minutes a game. She brought in 7.8 points a game, 4.5 rebounds a game. She's just someone who's a big body. He can come in and can disrupt some stuff in the paint. So yeah, you think you're going against the Dallas Wings, and you think because Teaira McCowan was on the bench, you're like, whew, I can take a break. No, you can't take a break because you have Kalani Brown coming off the bench and putting in some really, really good minutes for this Dallas Wings team. So yeah, you can't take a break. And so this year it's even worse. You have Teaira in the game. She starts it off. She gets tired. Okay, you're bringing in Kalani Brown. If Kalani Brown gets tired and Teaira McCowan is maybe in foul trouble or whatever, you got Stephanie Soares you putting in the game. So lots and lots of height for Latricia Trammell. You have height, and you have a lot of players. You had a lot of guards who can score. All right. So let's just do another post player before we go over to the guards. All right. So let's talk about a player that the Dallas Wings added last year that I thought was a huge, huge missing piece for the squad and put in some great minutes. This is the 3-time WNBA champ, former defensive player of the year in 6'2", Natasha Howard. Now, Natasha Howard was really good for the Dallas Wings last season. Last season, she was our first year with the Dallas Wings. She averaged 16.5 points a game, 8 rebounds a game, 2.5 assists per game. Especially with Satu Sabally out for the first half of the year, this team is going to need, they're going to need Natasha Howard to show up and show out. She is a calming presence for this team. She is someone who brings a lot of leadership qualities for this team. And it's going to be crucial that Natasha Howard is the same player that she was last year, and even a little bit elevated, because they're going to absolutely need that for this team to thrive this season. All right, now we can't finish off with the Dallas Wings, right? I talked about a lot of players for the Dallas Wings, but we cannot finish off this conversation about the Dallas Wings without talking about the legend of Arike Ogunbowale. Guys, Arike Ogunbowale is a walking bucket, guys. She really is. She is a multiple time All-Star in the WNBA. She is one of the league's most prolific scorers. And one fun fact for you guys. Arike Ogunbowale has never finished outside of the top 5 in scoring in her seasons in the WNBA. I mean, top 5 every single year in scoring. She was drafted with Dallas for the Dallas Wings with the 5th pick in the 2019 draft. There's something about the Dallas Wings and the 5th pick. It's something about it. It's something about it. I'm just saying. Not only is Arike Ogunbowale a fantastic scorer and one of the best scorers in the league, she's also developing as more of a leader for her squad, which is very, very important. Last season for the Dallas Wings, Arike averaged 21.2 points a game. She also had 4.5 assists per game, which is a huge area that I have seen her improve on a lot last year. Like, there were times in years past where Arike, it seemed like she felt like she had to do it herself. And last year, it was probably the factor of them having a player like Natasha Howard and having Satu Sabally healthy. But Arike seemed to play a little bit lighter on her feet. She seemed to not have to take the whole world on her shoulders. And she passed the ball. Had her career high in assists last season. Arike Ogunbowale can get her teammates involved, and last year we saw her doing that a little bit more. And I think as this year goes on, we're gonna also see the same thing for this season for Arike Ogunbowale, because this Dallas Wings team, they're a team that wins when they actually play like a team. And there are times in years past where the Dallas Wings were a band of individuals. A band of individuals just trying to do something, trying to make something happen, trying to get all the glory for themselves. Last year, we saw more of a team version of the Dallas Wings, and that starts with Arike Ogunbowale. She sets the tone in that aspect. I thought she did a good job last year, and I'm interested to see how she does this year. Again, with Satu Sabally missing the first half of the season, how Arike will lead this team going forward. So those are sort of my thoughts about the Dallas Wings and some of the players that they have. That is your look at the 11 players for the Dallas Wings. They're one of the rare teams in the W this season that will only have 11 players on their roster. So now, guys, kind of told you my thoughts about some of the players. Now it's time for you to let me know your thoughts. I'm going to look in the comment section and see what y'all have to say about the Dallas Wings. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts about this team? Also, guys, if you all can hit that like button, that would be absolutely fantastic. We are going through, teams. We got a whole bunch of show left to go. And if you all are enjoying the first ever live version of Women's Basketball Weekly, I hope you all can hit that like button. Show me some love. Also, if you all are watching this on Twitter, if y'all can hit that heart emoji, that would be fantastic. Like this video on YouTube. Like it on Twitter. Wherever you're watching this from, hit that like button and just show your support. Really do appreciate it so much. All right. Now, guys, we kind of talked about this Dallas Wings team and, lots of stuff to say about it. Lots more stuff to say about it. Let's see. Let's see. Jeremy says, do they have a point guard to replace Crystal Dangerfield? Now, if you guys don't know, the Dallas Wings don't have Crystal Dangerfield this year. And I do believe that they made some good moves to get some players that can kind of play point by committee. All right? They can play point by committee. You have a player like a J.C. Sheldon who can play the point guard position, right? You have Sevgi, who can also play the point guard position if she needs to. So I think they'll just do it by committee. They won't have a traditional point guard, and ultimately, I think that's what Coach Latricia Trammell is trying to go for. I don't think they necessarily want to have a traditional point guard. They do have players who can play the point guard position, as I just named, but I think they sort of do it by committee. I think they do it by committee. Lejeune says, happy Monday, fams. Happy Mother's Day for all the moms. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Yes, absolutely. Happy Mother's Day. Shout out to all the moms who have been really being the goat of their family. Shout out to them. Shout out to my mom. Shout out to all the moms who are just rocking and rolling, and just doing it big for their family. All right. FM says, hit that like button and subscribe. Yeah, please do. That would be absolutely fantastic. Michaela says, everybody forgot how good Stephanie Soares was. I mean, yes, Stephanie was really good. Really, really good. Oh, Monica has a prediction. Monica says, I'll be seeing JC at the All-Star game. Tough, smart, and has lockdown defense. Baller. Okay. All right, so I get Monica suggesting that we will see JC Sheldon as an All-Star, which would be huge. Absolutely huge. All right, guys. Thank you all so much for dropping y'all stuff in the comments. If y'all keep the chat lively, and while y'all at it, please hit that like button. That'd be great. Okay, let's continue on and talk about the Las Vegas Aces. All right, so this Las Vegas Aces is they're the team to beat. They're the team to beat when it comes to this season. They are the back-to-back champions for the WNBA. They have the best coach in the WNBA in Becky Hammon. They have arguably the best player in the league with Asia Wilson. They also have the face of the league in Sydney Colson. They got 2 Iowa players, and they even have a dog named Pancake. It seems that the Las Vegas Aces have just about everything. They have just about everything that they need to make some stuff happen. Okay, so let's get into a deep dive of player by player. Let's talk about the Las Vegas Aces. Now here is their final squad in alpha order. This team was able to have 12 players on the roster this year, which is something that they haven't had in a little bit. So that's good that they were able to have so many, have all of the spots taken for this season. And we're going to get into player by player. Let's talk about it. So I first want to start with rookie Deasia Fair. Now, guys, we've seen a couple of rookies make a roster for the WNBA this year, which is fantastic. And this year, for the Las Vegas Aces, 2 of their rookies made the final squad, which is absolutely huge. Deasia Fair made it, and we also saw Kate Martin make it. So let's get into both of these players. Okay. So here's the thing: if you don't know Deasia Fair, know this: this girl can flat out ball. Okay, she can flat out ball. She left college as the 3rd leading scorer all time in D1 NCAA women's basketball with 3,403 points total. This past season for Syracuse, she averaged 22.3 points a game, 3rd most in the ACC. She led the Orange to their first NCAA tournament appearance and win since 2021. Here's some more Deasia Fair stuff, because she is phenomenal. She scored in double figures in every game except one this season for Syracuse. She broke Syracuse's program record for 3-pointers in a game with 9. She had a fantastic year. She also played in a career amount of minutes. She played 36 minutes a game, and that's really what her Syracuse team needed. She was the engine that had Syracuse going, and the fact that the Las Vegas Aces was able to pick Deasia Fair up at the spot that they did in the draft, it's a steal. A player like her is phenomenal. Yes, a thing to note is that she is 5'5", so that is definitely something that for sure turned a lot of teams off from drafting her. But Becky Hammond knows something about being an undersized guard, and I think that Deasia Fair is going to be a really great asset for this team. She's a player who can put her head down and score. She can score, whether or not it's her driving to the basket, it's her hitting the three. She can do just about everything, and that this sort of combination of her drive to be amazing really was the thing that helped her be one of the rare rookies to actually make a squad this season. Now let's sort of continue on. Let's sort of continue on to so the next rookie, her teammate in Kate Martin. So Kate Martin is another rookie who really did show up and show out in training camp and has earned a roster spot. Now let's talk about this. So Kate Martin is a 6-foot player. At Iowa, they called her the glue. And she was the glue for a reason. She's a great locker room player. And on the court, Kate Martin is a player who just does whatever she needs to do to contribute to winning basketball. Whether the team needs her to score, whether the team needs her to play some defense, whether the team needs her to pass, Kate Martin is going to do whatever she needs to do to enable winning for her squad. That's why she was the glue at Iowa. This past season, she had career highs in points, rebounds, and shooting percentage. She averaged 13.1 points a game, 6.8 rebounds a game, and shot 50.7% from the field. 50.7, which is really, really good. And also, it's not just they were all three or all twos. She can hit some threes as well. She can absolutely hit some threes. And when you talk about Iowa making it to the championship, absolutely, yes, Caitlin Clark was phenomenal. But also, they made it as far as they did because Kate Martin was also a really good player for this team, for that team, and helping them make it all the way to the championship game. Kate Martin was drafted 18th overall in the 2024 WNBA draft, and she really did have her work cut out for her because, guys, she tried to win a spot as a non-first round pick. That's very hard to do, guys. In the last several years, only 23% of players drafted in the second and third round actually make the roster to start the season. So you have better odds if you are a first round draft pick than you are as a second or third round player. She had a 23% chance of making the roster, and she made it. Kate worked hard. She grinded. She did whatever she needed to do to earn a roster spot at the end of the day and earn a nickname. So guys, you can call her Kate Money Martin. All right. Let's sort of continue on. Let's talk about another Iowa player because it's not just Kate Martin. She does have another Iowa player that she can hang out with. So, you have Kate Money Martin. Now, she's not the only Iowa legend that's going to be on the squad. You have the Iowa legend in Megan Gustafson. So Megan Gustafson is a player, 6'4", icon at Iowa. Truly, before Caitlin Clark, it was all about Megan Gustafson for Iowa. She really was the player who kind of helped put Iowa on the map. Player of the year, worthy type of player when she was in college. And she bounced to a couple of teams in the WNBA. And after 6 years of bouncing from team to team to team, I felt like last year she really did sort of hone in on something very, very special. Last year she played with the Phoenix Mercury, and she had career high in points, 7.9 points a game. She had 3.9 rebounds a game in just 15 minutes. Sure, not the most amazing stats in the world, but she is a good and reliable player that can come off the bench and give you good minutes. Outside of the WNBA, she did play for Spain's national team, where she will also play with them for the 2024 Olympics. Megan also plays for the London Lions, where she helped her team get to the Euro Cup finals. And she averaged 15.2 points a game and 6.2 rebounds a game with the London Lions. When it came to the offseason, she was a free agent, and she signed with the Las Vegas Aces. And I think at the time, she probably wasn't thinking she was going to get a ton of minutes, but especially with Candice Parker now out, I think we're going to see Megan Gustafson put in some really, really good minutes for the squad. And for sure is going to be one of the more important players off the bench for this Las Vegas Aces team. She does have a 2-year deal for the Las Vegas Aces. And the thing to note is that deal is unprotected. All right. So guys, let's kind of continue to move on. And I don't actually have graphics for everybody else. It's just I didn't have enough time. So we're just going to go through the rest of this list. We're going to go through the rest of the list of the players on the Las Vegas Aces and call it quits after. Well, we'll call it for the Las Vegas Aces. Then we'll move on to talk about the week 1 schedule. Okay. So let's sort of talk about everybody else. So we have Emma Cannon, who also joined the squad this year as a newbie. Emma Cannon, she was a player that was picked up off of waivers. She was waived, and the Aces picked her up. Emma has bounced around to a couple of teams in her tenure in the WNBA. She's been a player since 2017. Also, a fun fact, she did actually play for the Las Vegas Aces in 2020 and 2021. But the reason why she is now with the squad is because Candice Parker decided to retire, and the Aces was in need of another experienced big man. And Emma Cannon was that. And that's why they were to pick her up to sort of come in and bring some good minutes in, similar to what Megan Gustafson is going to do for the squad. So this past season, Emma Cannon played for the Indiana Fever, where she averaged 5.8 points a game. And she also added in 3.1 rebounds a game in a total of 10.5 minutes per game. So that's Emma Cannon. So those were the few newbies for the Las Vegas Aces. Now here's the thing. Most of this Las Vegas Aces team are returning players. So we gonna get into it because these players have a lot of tenure with the Las Vegas Aces. All right. So first of all, we have 6'1" forward / shooting guard in Kirsten Bell, who actually just got the Las Vegas Aces actually decided to double down on Kirsten Bell and exercise their option. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool for Kirsten Bell. Shows that they really do see a future with her on the squad. She is, a player who was drafted in 2022 with the 11th pick to Vegas. And she hasn't left since. She won 2 championships. And last year she averaged 2.8 points a game. She doesn't play that much. But I do think that she will get more playing time this season. All right, next up we have the face of the league in Sydney Colson. Sydney Colson is the life of the party. She is absolutely fantastic. She stands at 5'8", and she hails from Texas A&M. Sydney has really been doing this WNBA thing for a long time. She's been in the league for 9 years, and has really found a niche with the Las Vegas Aces. While usually Sydney does not play that often, when she does get in the game, she does bring in some really, really good minutes for the squad. She's just able to do whatever she needs to do to make some stuff happen. Watch the finals from last year, and you can see what Sydney Colson can do on the court if she actually does get some minutes. She was open for free agency to go anywhere, but the Las Vegas Aces did decide to re-sign her. They signed her to a training camp contract, and of course, she has earned a spot on the final roster for the Las Vegas Aces. All right, so she won't play a ton, but she will bring in some really good minutes, especially since Chelsea Gray is not totally back yet. Next up, let's talk about Kiah Stokes. Kiah Stokes is a 6'3" center for UConn, who is going on her 9th year in the WNBA. The thing to note about Kiah Stokes is is really the perfect player. She's a player who usually can come off the bench and just do just about everything the team needs her to do but score. Here's the thing, though. This year, I anticipate Kiah Stokes starting every single game. And the reason why is because we saw that Candice Parker retired, and now when you talk about this Las Vegas Aces team, Kiah Stokes is the woman in the middle. She's a woman in the middle who's going to make some stuff happen. She's not a player who is going to score a bunch. She doesn't even look to score. She's a player who looks to rebound. She's a player who looks to pass the ball. She's a player who does all the intangibles besides scoring. When you talk about a player and you just look at the box score, it doesn't tell the story of what Kiah Stokes is actually able to do on the court. She's a really good player. She will be the starting center for the Las Vegas Aces this year. And she's going to pair up really well with the rest of the squad because you have a high octane offense in the Las Vegas Aces. And every player on the team does not need to look to score. And it's actually a really good fit that Kiah Stokes is a player who doesn't look to score. She just looks to make an impact. She looks to make an impact, and that's all she wants to do for the squad. And the fact that she's going to be on the team, bring really good minutes, and ultimately is going to help to lead to more winning for the Las Vegas Aces. They need I'm gonna say it. They need a glue type player, and Kiah Stokes is that. She's going to keep them all together. She's going to be the calm presence. She's going to be the player who just does all the dirty work and lets the stars shine because she doesn't care. She doesn't care to shine. She knows her value and she's comfortable with that. And I think that's one of the rare traits that I see in players. Like a lot of players want to be in the limelight. They want to be the main person to score and all this other stuff. But Kiah Stokes is a player who just she knows her role. She does her role really well, and that's why she's still in the league. And that's why she's going to be starting for the Las Vegas Aces. So yeah, guys, the box office score is not the end all be all. Okay, so you got to watch a little bit more, and you can really see what she is able to do for her squad. All right, next up, let's talk about reigning Sixth Woman of the Year in Alysha Clark. Alysha Clark is a 3-time WNBA champion. She has evolved into a 3-and-D type player. She can knock down three-pointers with the best of them. She led the league in three-point percentage for 2 years in 2019 and 2020. She also is a player who can play some high-level defense. And while, yes, there is a focus about the three-point shot for her, she can also get those twos as well. She enters the 2024 WNBA season ranked 3rd in league history in 2-point field goal percentage with 57% shooting from 2-point, from the 2-point field goal land. Guys, that is really good. That is really good. Again, I'm going to say it again. She enters the 2024 WNBA season ranked 3rd in league history in 2-point field goal percentage with 57%. Now, you want to know who the number one is? Sylvia Fowles. Sylvia Fowles ranks number 1 because she had a percentage of 59% for 2-pointers. Yeah. Sylvia Fowles is really good. I'm just saying. Also, another stat for Alicia Clark is that she enters the 2024 WNBA season ranked second in league history in effective field goal percentage. So yeah, she does really well. She does really well. All right, so let's move on. Let's move on to the big foe for the Las Vegas Aces. We got the point guard herself, standing at 5'11", Miss Chelsea Gray. Chelsea Gray is a 3-time WNBA champion. She is a Finals MVP. She is a Commissioner's Cup MVP. She is a 5-time WNBA All-Star, a ninth. She won. She is ninth place in the WNBA for total assists, and that's ninth in league history for total assists. You talk about this Aces team, and they have a lot of talent, but they have a visionary that all of it runs through, and her name is Chelsea Gray. Last year, Chelsea averaged 15.3 points a game, 7.3 assists per game, 4 rebounds a game. She did get injured last year and did miss some of the finals games. Also, she did miss this season's preseason game. She's not 100% back yet, but the hope is that she will get there pretty soon. And once she does, Chelsea Gray she's all that in the bag of chips. I'm gonna just say that. She's all that in the bag of chips. All right, next up, let's talk about the founder of Dog Class, 5'8" shooting guard extraordinaire, Kelsey Plum. Now, Kelsey Plum is a player who's been with the Aces for a long time, before it was Aces, the San Antonio Silver Stars. And she is a player who just keeps getting better and better and better. When you talk about her scoring, she can absolutely do that. Last season, Kelsey averaged 18.7 points a game. She is a player that can also pass the ball as well. Last year, she also averaged 4.5 assists per game. She can get you at a spot up three. She can get you on the dribble and get to the bucket. Kelsey Plum is a player who can do a lot on the offensive end. And then you have her, you got a friend, Jackie Young, the quiet assassin, the silent assassin herself. 6 foot tall Jackie Young is quiet, but her game is very, very lethal. Very lethal. She is a player who sort of turned the corner in 2022. She won the MVP, or Most Improved Player of the Year, that year. Last year with the Aces, she scored 20 or more points in 15 games. She had a career high of 30 points last season. And when it comes to on the season, she was shooting very, very efficiently. She shot 52% from the field last year. And from the three-point line, you don't want to mess with her. You don't want to mess with her because she can shoot 44.9% from the field, from the three-point line. So I'm just saying, Jackie Young is fantastic. She's all that in the bag of chips. And just because she quiet don't mean nothing. I'm just saying. Jackie she's a really good player, and also that girl is solid. You don't see it very often where a player can run into another player, especially a guard, and the Jackie Young just stands there, and the other player bounces off and falls. Jackie Young doesn't fall. That girl is solid. All right, let's continue on to talk about the Las Vegas Aces. We talked about Chelsea Gray, talked about Kelsey Plum, talked about Jackie Young. Now, guys, I got to talk about the woman in the middle. All right, the Aces, they have a lot of talent. I've already talked about a lot of the talent that they have on this team, but their success begins and ends with a player named A'ja Wilson. She is a New York Times best-selling author. She is now a player with the signature shoe. She is standing at 6'4". A'ja Wilson is a straight-up dominant post player. She is. Whether it's in the paint, her scoring, whether it's a jump shot, whether it's like her fatal or her one-legged shot, you know, it's her ability to move without the ball. It's her ability to even shoot a three-pointer. You know, she can do that. She's not that great at it, but she can shoot a three-pointer every now and then. A'ja Wilson can just about do it all. She can. Like, that's what she does. It's what she does. Last season, she averaged 22.8 points a game, shooting 55.7% from the field, 9.5 rebounds a game, and 2.2 block shots a game. A'ja enters the season second overall in WNBA history in free throws made per game. She is second in field goals made per game, fourth in points made per game, and also she owns the WNBA career single game record in points with 53. And yeah, have you heard of the A1? Anybody? A1? Anybody? New shoe coming out next year. So shout out to A'ja Wilson. So guys, that is the Las Vegas Aces. That is your high octane offense who also can play some defense and is looking to do a three-peat. So guys, in the comments below, I am curious. I really want to know from you all. Do you expect a three-peat? Let me know. Do you expect a three-peat? I am very, very curious to hear your answer. All right, so guys, I'm going to the chat to see what you all have to say about this. Kojo says Jackie Young is strong. Facts. That is absolutely the case. Yes. Charlotte says pure muscle. Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, let's see what else I got to say. Lou says, I'd love to see Kia's offense evolve more like Brianna Jones on the Sun. Alicia's basketball IQ is underrated. Yeah, I mean, she's very, very smart. Jackie, aka Debo, growth has been steady, and we already know A'ja is her. E4 says A'ja is the truth. Great book too. Francine says, I don't see anyone else beating the Aces. Yes, for the three-peat. Okay. All right. So lots of people are saying three-peat. Okay. A lot of people are saying three-peat. Emily says, I need that Jackie workout plan. I mean, I do too. I need it in my life. I need the Jackie Young workout plan. All right. CAC says, yes, three-peat will happen. They are locked in. Oh, yeah. I feel like a lot of people on the internet are obsessed with Kelsey Plum throwing stuff. Yeah. I feel like every time she's at a game, they end up having her throw something. Shania says, why is Lisa Bluder retiring? Well, we are going to get into Lisa Bluder. We're almost there. We got a couple of things to talk about first, and then we're going to get into Lisa Bluder, okay? All right, guys. If y'all can hit that like button one time for me, that would be fantastic. Also, if you all can share this video with someone as we are live, it would be fantastic if more and more people can join. So please, not only hit that like button, but also hit that subscribe and tell a neighbor, tell a friend that Quita Loves Sports is on the internet right now. And I'm dropping some facts for y'all, letting y'all know what's what in the world of women's basketball. So if y'all are enjoying this, please give me a like, subscribe, and a share. Ty says, who is the backup point guard for Chelsea? It is Sydney Colson. Sydney Colson is the backup. Sydney Colson is the backup. All right, guys, let's continue on. And also, guys, actually, let me do these super chats real quick. Let me do these super chats, then we'll continue on. This fan 9212, thank you so much for the super chat. Says shocker about Lisa Bluder in Iowa. I don't think the world of women's basketball was expecting that. It's almost like Pat Muffet and Tara stepping down. I definitely wasn't expecting that. But yeah, we're going to get into that in a sec, though. Du jour, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, I got Liberty winning, but Asia for MVP. Really? You got Liberty winning the Liberty winning the WNBA championship? Personally, I don't see it, but hey, who knows? Never know what can happen. Never know. But I don't see it. I don't see it though. All right, guys, let's continue on and let's talk about the week 1 schedule. Now, this is not the full week 1 schedule. These are the games that you all will be able to watch on League Pass. I did just want to share this with you because I am a big advocate for WNBA League Pass. Special announcement about that at the end of the stream. Hopefully you all are still on for it. It's going to be a really good time. So I do want to just talk about some of the WNBA League Pass games that you all can watch this week on again WNBA League Pass. Now here's the thing, guys. You are going to be able to watch all of these games for free. So that's why I really wanted to highlight it. So all of these games, New York Liberty versus the Mystics on the 14th, Dallas versus Chicago on the 18th. All of these games you're going to be able to watch for free on the WNBA app. Okay, these are free. You do not have to create. You don't have to pay $35 to watch. The games on the screen right now are part of Tip-Off Test Drive, which is presented by CarMax for the WNBA WNBA app. So these are free games that you all can watch. It's going to be a really, really good time. You can watch those games for free, and then after it's over, after the 21st or after the 18th is over, after the 21st is over, you all can decide, yes, I am going to I'm going to purchase WNBA League Pass. But yeah, this is free $99. So I wanted to first talk about that real quick to just let you all know that the games that you all will be able to watch for free. Now I do want to just sort of talk about some of the other games that are happening as well. Some of the games that you all will be able to watch on your local TV and games that will be on ESPN. Some of the bigger games that we're going to see this upcoming season. So the WNBA, again, it does kick off tomorrow, and it kicks off with some pretty, I would say, prominent games, in my opinion, at least. And I do want to just go over that. I do want to just show you all the ESPN game schedule, just so you all can have a good look at what we're gonna expect to see this upcoming season. Okay, we got a lot of really, really, really good games to watch. All right, so let's move over and let's talk about some of the games tomorrow. Okay, so tomorrow, of course, we have a pretty important game that we sort of start off with. New York Liberty versus the Washington Mystics. This game is on League Pass. Also, it is on ESPN3. We continue on to watch the game that I think a lot of people are going to watch. This game is on ESPN2. It's on ESPN Plus. It's on Disney Plus. We're going to talk more about Disney Plus in a sec. I do have a whole thing about them. But that game is at 6:30 p.m. Central Time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Indiana versus Connecticut. We also have at 9 p.m. a very, very late game. We have Phoenix versus the Vegas Aces. Again, that one is following the this is following the Indiana Fever Connecticut game. So that should be very, very, very fun to watch. And then we also have the Minnesota Lynx versus the Seattle Storm tomorrow as well at 9 p.m. Lots and lots and lots of games, guys, for you all to watch. So, if you are wondering, I want to watch some basketball, well, there's a lot of games tomorrow for you to watch. A lot. Okay. So I hope you all are excited about that. Then on Wednesday, we got my Chicago Sky on the road going against the Dallas Wings. That should be a very, very fun game. That game is on WNBA League Pass at 7 p.m. More about that game in a bit, because again, I got some cool stuff to share about that. Let's continue on. We got the Atlanta Dream versus the LA Sparks, also on Wednesday. Then on Thursday, we have the New York Liberty versus the Indiana Fever as a part of this year's Prime game. Now again, almost all of Indiana's games will be nationally available. All right, either on Prime or on ESPN or on Ion. And then on Friday, we have the Washington Mystics versus the Connecticut Sun on Ion. So that should be really fun. We also have, it's a doubleheader. So we have the Seattle Storm versus the Minnesota Lynx after that is over. All right. And then Saturday, we got ABC, really good time, 12 p.m. on Saturday to watch the Indiana Fever take on the New York Liberty at New York. So that should be a very, very, very fun game. All right, guys. And then real quick, just to wrap up Saturday, we also have the Las Vegas Aces going against the LA Sparks. That game is at 2 p.m. Central Time, again on ABC. So, yeah, we got a double header on ABC. That should be very, very fun. And then on Saturday, we also have the Sky going against Dallas one more time, again at Dallas. That game is at 7 p.m. on Saturday. And then finish up talking about the Atlanta Dream going against the Phoenix Mercury at 9 p.m. Central Time. All right, so those are some of the things that you all need to know about opening week for the WNBA. So, guys, I got a question for y'all. Are y'all excited? Are you excited? Let me know. Are you excited about the fact that the WNBA season starts this week? And also, do y'all have a favorite game that y'all are ready to watch? Let me know in the comments. That would be fantastic. All right. So, guys, we are moving on. And we're going to talk about charter flights. Because charter flights for the WNBA has gotten very, very interesting. Charter flights has gotten very interesting because the WNBA announced charter flights and announced that was going to happen. And then we later find out that there are teams that will not have charter flights. So the Indiana Fever, they were able to get charter flights for their game this week. They took charter flight earlier today. They are the first to take part in the charter flight program for the WNBA. They are one of the rare teams they're actually able to take advantage of that today. And let's just sort of talk about this, because this kind of like brought up a issue for the WNBA. So the Indiana Fever and the Minnesota Lynx are the only two teams that are actually able to start off with charter flights for the season. All right, they're one of the two teams, and I do want to show a graphic of the charter flights. I do want to show a graphic because I thought it was kind of interesting. And a lot of people have a lot of thoughts. There is a town hall that's happening tonight with some of the players and the commissioner, because A lot of people have a lot of thoughts about this charter flight stuff. A lot of people have a lot of thoughts. Okay. So yeah, let me share my screen, and I'm gonna show you all what it looked like inside of the Indiana Fever's charter flight. And again, the charter flights are through Delta Airlines. So the WNBA is paying Delta Airlines for charter flights. All right, so this is a look. This is a look inside of the. That's a look inside of the flights for the Indiana Fever. So I just wanted to show that because I was like, oh man, it looks like they're flying in style, right? When is the last time some of these WNBA players have ever been on a flight like this, right? But the thing to note, guys, is that the WNBA, they're the ones who are purchasing all of the flights, and they're the ones who have to coordinate all of the private charter. So even though a owner like a Joe Tsai for the New York Liberty, even though they want to, they're cool with chartering their own flight, the league has to do it for them. All right. So Indiana and Minnesota were the only two teams to start off with a charter. They both had charters for today. And you contrast that with some of the other teams in the W, including the New York Liberty, including the Chicago Sky, and others who will not be flying charter. So the New York Liberty are going commercial for their first two games. They're also going to be going to Indianapolis, and that game is going to, yeah. So basically, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing when it comes to this charter flights. The WNBA is having a team, or not a team meeting, a league players town hall meeting where they're going to discuss charter flights, and this for sure is going to be a thing. This for sure is going to be a thing because teams were all excited about charter flights, and the league announced that charter flights are happening, and then charter flights are not happening for everybody. So it's one of those things where it would have been smarter on the WNBA's part to actually say, yes, charter flights are coming, but we are going to wait. We are going to wait until everybody has charter flights, because one of the reasons why the WNBA didn't actually allow owners like a Joe Tsai to pay for charter flights for the team is because they said it was a competitive advantage. And now you have a competitive advantage when you have certain players or certain teams have charter flights and not other teams. So this is one of those missteps from the WNBA. Great news about the charter flights, but if everything isn't able to get coordinated and everything isn't able to get done, at that point it's sort of like, well, why did you announce this? Why did you make this such a big deal when everybody can't actually take advantage? So that's something that the WNBA really has to look at. And guys, Breanna Stewart actually posted something on Twitter, and I want to share that because I think it's important as we sort of talk about what's happening. I think it's important for us to talk about what players are actually saying. So here's what Breanna Stewart said. Breanna Stewart says, 2 out of 5 WNBA teams traveling today are on WNBA charters, and that's a win. It could be a bigger one if the WNBA allowed teams who are not offered league charters to secure their own until a full 12-team solution is ready. And she said, trip number 1 of the season, charter bus. So I guess charter is somewhere in the... Charter is somewhere in that name. It's a charter bus, but charter is somewhere. But anyway, that was me trying to make a joke. I don't think it was. It must not. I don't think it was. It probably didn't go over very well, but I thought it was kind of funny that charter's included in there somewhere. But yeah, I really do understand Brianna Stewart's point, and I think that's the point that a lot of other players are also thinking. Alicia Clark, posted that part, to that tweet, and I think this is something that a lot of players are thinking about because they're like, hey, you announced charters, okay, well we don't have a charter, we don't have that. And it is a competitive advantage. It is. It just is. And we'll see when all WNBA teams will be able to get charters. Again, this is one of those things where it feels like it was a little bit of a last minute decision for the WNBA to have charter flights. Like, this is something that was announced on May the 9th, and it feels like maybe the WNBA needed a little bit more time to work all this out because they didn't have it didn't seem like they had the infrastructure. Like, here's the press release about this, where it sort of went in detail about the charter flights and how the league is so excited to have them and yada yada yada. And the thing is, not everybody's able to take advantage, which is tough because it is kind of a competitive advantage. So guys, let's sort of read through the charter program press release. Let's read through it and see what it says, because this is something that has not been totally thought all the way through. So the press release says WNBA set to institute a full charter program during 2024 season. All right. So WNBA announced on May the 9th that a full league charter program will be phased in beginning with the start of the 2024 WNBA regular season, and saying this groundbreaking, this is a big deal, yada, yada, yada. Kathy Engelbert, the commissioner, who I am actually a pretty big fan of, she said, "We are thrilled to announce the launch of a full charter program as soon as practical for the 2024-2025 seasons, a testament of the continued growth of the WNBA." And she said, "While we still have a lot of work to do to continue to execute our strategic plan, we feel confident that now is the time to institute a full charter program to demonstrate our commitment to leading with a player-first agenda." And guys, the players, not all the players are feeling the player-first agenda, right? Because not all the players can actually take advantage of it. So the program is operated primarily by Delta Airlines. Delta is very excited about it, and this is something that they did say will be phased in during the 2024 season, but it is hard for all the players to get behind something that they all can't take advantage of. I think it's difficult, right? At the time, Nneka Ogwumike, the commissioners, not the commissioners, the WNBA's Player Association president, she said, at the time, she said, "I am thrilled to see significant change in policy that will permit and provide charter travel across all teams throughout the 2024 season and going forward. On behalf of the players, I want to express my appreciation and support for a bold move by the commissioner and team governors that in turn shows that they understand and value the health and safety of the players. It is time to be transformational. It's time to bet on women." So that is what was originally said on when this thing was announced on May the 9th. And, players are very excited about it. They were through the roof, very happy. And now some players are less happy because they aren't able to take advantage of what other players and teams are able to take advantage of. Eventually, this is going to be brought out league wide, which is fantastic. But I think that a phased in approach, I get it. That just may have just been what was necessary to get this thing up and running. But the league should have allowed individual owners to fly private if they wanted to. But the fact that you are allowing some teams to fly private and not others, without even giving the others a option to have their owner say, hey, I'll foot the bill. WNBA, don't worry about it. I'll foot the bill. I want my players to fly private. You can't do that. So that's something that is putting the WNBA in a awkward position, and a position where the players aren't happy. The players aren't happy, and that's tough. That is really, really tough. Let's see. She Code says phased in when the WNBA season is so short. Exactly when will all teams have charter? We don't know. That's the thing. We don't know the answer to that. It was reported on Twitter that the WNBA players will have a town hall to discuss this with WNBA leadership, and so yeah, we'll see what happens. We will absolutely see what happens. But yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing. Let's see. Yeah, you're right. Goodness rated, you are right. Yeah. This is going to yeah, I think it's possible that this brings jealousy amongst players. And I wouldn't even say just specifically towards Caitlin, because her teammates are enjoying it too. It's not like just Caitlin is getting all the attention, right? I mean, it's the Indiana Fever and the Minnesota Lynx who are getting charter flights. So it's not just the Indiana Fever. But yeah, I do believe it's going to create some possibly some jealousy and annoyance from the teams that don't have the charter flights to the teams that do have the charter flights. I do think that that's a thing for sure. Now I got some super chats in here. De Jour, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, I know New York can charter. Psy is just cheap. I mean, they can't charter if they want to. I do believe Joe Tsai would actually pay to get his team chartered. But it's the league is running that. So they won't be able to charter. De Jour also says New York and Las Vegas should be the first to get them flights. You should reward winning. It's already unfair. This is messed up. Yeah. I mean, the hard part is when you phase in anything, it doesn't matter what it is. Phasing in stuff, people are going to be upset, right? Because then there's going to be people who haven't gotten it yet, right? You're phasing in and you're doing part by part. And some of the people who are left out, some of the teams who are left out, they're upset about it, which is understandable, which is why it's tough to phase in anything. Sometimes it's better to just do it all or do none. So that's one of the tough things. Andrew, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, great job. Keep up the good work. Tell mom happy Mother's Day. I will absolutely tell her. Thank you so much, Andrew, for the super chat. Appreciate you, man. Let's see. David says, y'all ever stop to think Caitlin Clark paid for the charter flights out of her own pocket? She didn't. I don't know who's who's putting that rumor out there. David, if you saw that somewhere, that someone was saying that's wrong. That is absolutely incorrect. The WNBA is paying for flights, paying for all the charter flights. The WNBA is paying for it. Players are not paying for it. Teams cannot pay for it. It is the league who is paying for it all. Okay? And they're anticipating about $25 million for the season. So no, Caitlin Clark, none of her money is going towards this at all. And if someone's reporting that, they are lying, David. So I don't know where you got your information from, but it is not true. It is not true that is the case. Brenda says, I feel bad for Caitlin Clark. All the perceived favoritism is going to generate hate against her when she just wants to play ball. Yeah, I mean, it is unfortunate. It is unfortunate. All right. So, guys, we are going to continue on. We got a couple more things to talk about. Guys. We're going to talk about Disney Plus, and we're going to talk about Lisa Bluder saying farewell to Iowa. We're going to talk about Candice Dupree getting back into the coaching game. We're going to talk about my games of the week, and we have a channel announcement to give. So lots of stuff to get into. Guys, I do want to just say, again, thank you for rocking with me. Thank you so much for your support of this channel. If you guys could do me a huge favor and hit that like button, that would be really, really great. Whether you're watching on this on YouTube, whether you're watching this on Twitter, I hope that you all are enjoying what you are hearing. And if you all could, please help me out a ton and hit that like button. Now, guys, I see a lot of people watching on Twitter, but I don't really see any likes on Twitter. If y'all can hit that like button, that would be absolutely, positively fan-freaking-tastic, okay? All right. So we're gonna keep continuing. We're gonna keep continuing talking about what's going on in the world of women's basketball. Now, let's talk about Disney Plus. Guys, for the first time ever, we will see the WNBA on Disney Plus. The ESPN is going all in on women's basketball, and we will see the doubleheader of Indiana versus the Sun and Mercury versus the Aces. We're going to see that not on one channel for ESPN. We're gonna see it on 3 platforms for ESPN. It's on ESPN2, which is great. It's on ESPN Plus. And also, guys, it is on Disney Plus for the first time ever. Now this is something that I have personally never seen Disney Plus do. To have a game on Disney Plus. Now, this is something that is absolutely going to be a huge win to just get more people to watch the game of women's basketball. Disney Plus is a platform where a lot of younger people congregate, right? A lot of kids watch stuff on Disney Plus all the time. A lot of adults watch stuff on Disney Plus. I have a Disney Plus account, and I watch. I was actually just watching the Marvels all weekend. I was watching. I'm going through the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I'm like watching all the movies. I watched Spider-Man. I watched Black Panther, Captain America. I watched the Civil War movie. Like, I watched a lot of stuff. But anyway, let's talk about Disney Plus, because Disney Plus is doing something big. How about you watch your Disney Plus movies, and then you take a little break and you watch some women's basketball, because that is what is going to happen on Tuesday, which is tomorrow. We will see a doubleheader on Disney Plus. Now, this is something that is pretty big. And this is a strategic thing, right? The point is to engage younger viewers. and to get younger viewers to get engaged with the sport. So the more younger eyeballs you can have on a WNBA game, the more likely they'll tell their parents, "Hey, that game was really fun. I really like this player. Can we go to a game?" And it just sort of like not only does it engage their interest in that sport itself, but also engages their interest in actually going to a game and getting their parents to get them to go to a game and whatnot. And so it all is very, very helpful. You all have probably seen where the NFL has partnered with Nickelodeon, right? And you've seen some games on Nickelodeon, Super Bowl on Nickelodeon. You've seen other, like, just various games where they're trying to attract a younger audience, and to me, it is Disney Plus is the perfect venue for that. Even the NHL has done something to try to get younger audiences. The point of this is to diversify Disney Plus and what they have to offer a little bit, but also to grow the audience of women's basketball, specifically with younger players. Now I think this is a dub. Personally, I think more eyeballs on women's basketball is a dub. I don't think it matters in terms of I don't think it totally matters in terms of like whether or not it's kids or older people. Doesn't matter. I think the game is growing, and I think exposing it to Disney Plus is a huge get, especially because ESPN is a key partner of the WNBA. Disney owns ESPN. They own Disney Plus. So to me, it just makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense, and it exposes. It gives more of a chance for the WNBA to be exposed to more people. So to me, I think this is a dub. I just wanted to talk about it, and just talk about how fantastic it is. That not only will you be able to watch the WNBA on ESPN2 tomorrow, you also be able to watch it on Disney Plus. All right, so guys, let me know. Are you all planning on watching this game on Disney Plus? I actually think I will, just to see if it's like a slightly different experience. I want to see what the experience is like. Is it just a port of ESPN 2, or is it a slightly different look for Disney Plus? All right, guys. All right. Moving on. We're moving on to say farewell to a coaching legend. All right, farewell to Lisa Bluder. Lisa Bluder has announced that she is retiring from Iowa women's basketball. This is a huge loss for Iowa women's basketball. Now, guys, this is something that caught me by surprise. It really did. I was not expecting this at all. I really wasn't. And to see this come through, I was like, whoa, that's crazy. I really didn't expect this. And I think there's a lot of people who didn't expect this either. I did get an email from Iowa women's basketball. It's because I went to a game in the past, and now they send me. I'm on their email list, and I get a lot of emails from Iowa women's basketball. And there is a letter that Coach Bluder actually wrote to Hawkeye Nation, and I want to read that because I thought it was a very, very special letter. I thought it was a special letter, and after I read that, I just want to talk through Lisa Bluder's legacy at Iowa women's basketball. And I just want to talk about how like this really is a sea change. We're at a sea change for women's basketball. We're seeing coaches who have been in the game for a long time. We're seeing them leave. And that's a huge loss for the game of women's basketball. It's a huge loss for the programs that they coach at. And I just want to talk through it. All right. I want to talk through it with you all. And guys, I also want to talk about the fact that a lot of people are talking about the Indiana Fever. We gonna get into it once we get through what Lisa Bluder had to say to Hawkeye Nation. I do want to get into specifically this rumor that she is going to the the Indiana Fever, guys, it's not happening. But we're gonna talk about it though, okay? We're gonna really talk about this in detail because I think people just want something to say. People want something to say. People want something to talk about, and they want to pretend like they have the exclusive on stuff. And yeah, she's not going to Indiana. I'm just saying. But anyway, we're gonna talk about it, okay? We're gonna talk about this. All right, let's look at this. All right, it is called. This is Lisa Bluder's letter to Hawkeye Nation. So we're gonna read through it and we're gonna get into it. Okay. All right. So, it's a bad letter when you see it start off with, "It is with a range of emotions," but that is what she started off with. She says, "It is with a range of emotions that I share with you today that I have decided to step down from leading the Iowa women's basketball team after 24 memorable years." Again, huge shocker. She said, I informed President Wilson and Director of Athletics Beth Gotts of my decision, and I am grateful for their unwavering support and offered them my assistance in any manner in the future. She said, it's been the honor of my career to be a part of the Iowa Hawkeye family and to lead a women's basketball team filled with so many talented and remarkable young women who have gone on to do great things in their career and, more importantly, in their lives. Now, she just sort of continues on to talk about the players that she got to coach for and whatnot. So let's sort of continue on reading what Lisa Bluder has to say about the squad that she was able to coach. She says, there is no denying that this past season was incredible for so many reasons, and we could not have accomplished our achievements without all of you. After the season ended, I spent time with our student athletes and coaches, reviewing the season and preparing those moving on for what comes next. With that also came personal contemplation about what this journey has meant to me, how to best champion this program, and what the future looks like for my family and me. And after taking some time away with my husband, David, it has become clear to me that I am ready to step aside. So according to her, this was not something that she had planned on doing beforehand, but that is something that she is doing now. All right, let's sort of continue on reading this. She said, it is never ideal. It is never an ideal time to retire. She said, I will miss, and I am sure this fall I will miss the games, the practices, the road trips. She just goes down the list about the stuff that she's going to miss with this squad. I mean, with this team and stuff that generally she's loved about being at Iowa that she's going to miss, which is understandable, right? You expect when a coach retires, they're going to miss some stuff that they used to experience as a coach, and they're like, oh man, this is very, very different. She says she'll miss the road trips, the atmosphere, and the tremendous fans, and most importantly, the players. But my belief in the foundation of this program, knowing that success is now an unrelenting component of women's basketball at the University of Iowa, gives me comfort as I transition to become the program's biggest champion. She says, I want to thank each and every young woman who believed in our program and in our values for nearly a quarter of a century and who proudly wore the black and gold. I want to thank Presidents Coleman, Sorkin, Mason, it goes down the list. All the people she wants to thank. She wants to thank her assistant coaches, and she wants to thank the incredible fans for believing in what we are doing and how we are doing it, creating the best home court advantage in all of women's basketball. And she thanks her family. All right. And she says, she ended off saying, with love and gratitude, Lisa Bluder. All right. So that is the message that Lisa Bluder gave to Hawkeye Nation today. Now, this is something that really did bring a lot of people by surprise. I was surprised that she decided to step down. Now, guys, I will talk about Jan Jensen taking that head coaching role in a second, but Lisa Bluder has had a really, really long career at Iowa. She was a coach who coached at Iowa for 24 years, right? She's been a coach in general for longer than that. She's been a collegiate head coach for 40 years at University of Iowa for 20. You talk about what she's able to accomplish. Naismith Coach of the Year in 2019, 3-time Big Ten Coach of the Year. She was a 4-time Regional Coach of the Year. She won 884 games, which is the 10th most in NCAA women's basketball history. So guys, I know that a lot of people, your opinions about Lisa Bluder is very specific to the last 3 or 4 years of women's basketball. But guys, Lisa Bluder has had a long and historic career in the game of women's basketball as a coach. She's, again, 10th all time in women's NCAA basketball history in wins. She is, someone who is steeped in Iowa women's basketball history. She became the head coach in 2000. She is the all-time winningest Big Ten coach in history with a record of 528 wins and 254 losses. I think she's had a special career. The last 2 seasons, of course, we all know Iowa went to the championship both seasons, and overall, in her tenure, they made 22 postseason appearances under Lisa Bluder, 18 in the NCAA, 4 in the WNIT. She led the Hawkeyes to 5 Big Ten tournament championships. She also got 2 Big Ten regular season championships as well. So she's had a great career with the University of Iowa, and we'll see what she does next. She never said exactly what she's going to do next, but she said it's time to move on. And to me, it makes sense. It makes sense. You have gone to a historic high, making it to 2 back-to-back championships. You've had a generational talented player. I think it's hard to imagine going from that huge high to going back to the reality of being back in the thick of it in terms of battling even for a place in the NCAA tournament. So to me, I am not surprised. Yes, I'm surprised, but at the same time, I get it. Because what else is there to do? Sure, yes, what else is there to do to win a championship? But you got as close as you could have these last 2 years, and you had heartbreak. And so to me, I get it. I feel like that's a lot. I feel like that's a whole lot, and I understand why she decided right now that she was going to call it quits. Now, guys, it's not like Iowa is without a coach. They do have associate head coach Jan Jensen, who is stepping in to become the next head coach for Hawkeye basketball. And the thing is, this isn't like Coach Jan Jensen is new. She has been with Lisa Bluder in this team for a long time. It's like over 20 years. She's been with Jan Jensen. Jan Jensen has been with Lisa Bluder. It's a very, very long time. Very, very, very long time. And actually, it's way longer than that. Actually, Jan has been with Lisa Bluder for more than 30 years. All the years at Iowa, and then before that at Drake. So this is a coach in Jan Jensen who is ready for this moment. She's ready for this moment as the new head coach for Iowa women's basketball. I think she's ready. We'll see what Jan Jensen's able to do. But continuing on with Lisa Bluder, this is something that shocked a lot of people. A lot of people were on social media shocked, like really, really shocked about the fact that Lisa Bluder is done at Iowa. She's gone. This is the end of the road for her as a player. I mean, not for her as a player, for her as a coach. And good for her. I say absolutely, absolutely good for her. You know, I think we'll see. I think we'll see what Iowa has up their sleeves going forward. But this is a loss. Absolutely, it's a loss for Big Ten women's basketball. It's a loss for Iowa women's basketball for sure. And we'll see ultimately what comes about next for Lisa Bluder. Does she just enjoy the rest of her life in retirement? Maybe. Does she try to take her hand at coaching at another level? Maybe. But one thing is for sure, I really don't think that Lisa Bluder is going to Indiana. There's a lot of to be the head coach. I have seen on social media that people are saying that Lisa Bluder retired so she could go to Indiana, and Indiana can fire Coach Chrissy Sides, and Lisa Bluder will be the coach in Indiana. And I'm like, guys, I don't think that's how it works. I really don't think that that this is a scheme. Her retiring and whatnot. I don't think that's a scheme for her to go to Indiana. Like, I really don't. Like I think she had her time coaching Caitlin Clark. I think they both enjoyed that time with her coaching Caitlin Clark, and I think it's time for them to move on. I don't think it's just because a coach had success, coaching a player does not mean they have to follow that player throughout the rest of their career. Like I think people want something to say and they just want to speculate and whatnot. Lisa Bluder's not going to Indiana. Like, she's not. Like, I don't understand why. Maybe for views and clicks and whatnot. you want to make a whole thing about her going to Indiana. It's not happening, guys. It's not happening. Michaela says y'all just be making up. Yeah, people be making stuff up. People be making stuff up because they want something to talk about. So yeah, she's not going to coach the Indiana Fever, because guys, coaching, we talk about levels. We talk about levels in terms of college players going from college to the pros. There is a big difference from coaching in college to coaching in the pros. It's very different. Very, very different. In ways that the college coaches get leniency, pros don't. You're going to get fired. They give you a couple years, you're going to get fired if you don't win. The game is, the X's and O's of how you coach is very different. It is very different. The plays that are run are very different. And so I don't think it's one of those things where it's sort of like it's apples to apples. It's not, in terms of coaching in college to coaching in the pros. Similarly to coaching in, similar to playing in college and playing in the pros. Yes, can some people succeed? Absolutely. But But no, guys, Lisa Bluder is not going to Indiana. Yeah, I mean, yes, yes, you never know, but I don't think there's any signs. I don't think there's any signs that's pointing to her going to the Indiana Fever. I don't think it's possible. David, I am not saying that. No. I rewind the tape. I am not saying that. I am saying that is what people are saying. I am saying that I have seen people on social media saying that Coach Bluder deciding to retire from Iowa is really just her making this decision to end up going to Indiana because Christy Sides is going to get fired or whatever, and she's going to swoop in and become that the new head coach for the Indiana Fever. That's not happening, guys. One, I don't believe Christy Sides is going to get fired. I don't. Now, I know there's a lot of people who there's a lot of people who talk a lot of stuff about Chrissy Sides. A lot of people don't like Chrissy Sides. I actually am neutral about Chrissy Sides. I am very, very, very neutral about her. Because I think this year is going to tell us a lot about Chrissy Sides. She's a head coach that never really wanted to be a head coach. She was cool being an assistant coach, but she got a position as a head coach, and she's figuring it out. And I'm interested to see what she does. So I am neutral about her. I know a lot of people don't like her. I want to see how this year pans out for Indiana. I really do. I want to see how this pans out. So because the thing is, like, she hasn't had much time, right? She's still a pretty new head coach. Last year, Indiana was way better than they used to be. I think she needs to get this team to a playoff berth. I think that's what she needs to do. I think she needs to get them to a playoff berth. But yeah, that is again, the main news is that Lisa Bluder has decided to call it quits as the head coach for Iowa women's basketball. She has had a phenomenal career. And I am excited. I am excited about, whatever she does afterwards. Like, she could just, be the number one supporter for Iowa women's basketball, and that could be it. But I'm interested to see how Iowa does with head coach Jan Jensen. A thing to note, guys, a thing that is very, very important to note is that, yes, the transfer portal has closed. However, when a head coach leaves a program, the team now has 30 days to enter the transfer portal if they want to. So Lucy Olson, yes, has transferred to Iowa, but she does have 30 days now that her head coach has left to enter the transfer portal. So so players are not stuck. I saw some people talking about how they thought that players were stuck. Players who decided to go to Iowa or stay at Iowa were stuck and they can't leave. They can. All right, there is a 30-day window that does start when a head coach leaves a program. All right. So if Lucy Olson does want to transfer, she can. Will she transfer? I don't think so because Jan Jensen has been so integral to the squad for so many years. I don't think she leaves. I don't think anybody at Iowa leaves. I think everybody stays. But if they wanted to, they could. If they wanted to, they could, because there is a window that has opened up now that their head coach has left. I don't think they will leave, but they could if they wanted to. So I just wanted to clear that up, make sure you all understand that. But again, I don't see anybody leaving. I don't. All right, guys. All right. Now, guys, we are just continuing on. We are almost done with today's show. I really do appreciate y'all rocking with me, though. If y'all can, hit that like button if y'all are just joining in. All right, guys, we are moving on. We are continuing to talk about head coaches for the college game. And we talk about one head coach leaving the game. And we talk about another head coach joining a program. So let's talk about Candice Dupree. Candice Dupree is a WNBA legend, in my mind. She had an illustrious career with the Chicago Sky. She's also a player who just sort of went to a couple of different teams. She was the number. She's just a fantastic player. She has got a new opportunity, and she is going to be the new head coach of Tennessee State University. She has been announced as the 13th head coach in program history, and she's excited for it. She is a player who played 16 years on the WNBA, and before she just took on this new role as the head coach of Tennessee State, she was on the coaching staff for the San Antonio Spurs. Her having that NBA experience, she retired in 2021 from the WNBA. Then she, entered the NBA. They have a coaching development program. She entered that. She, was a player, a person who was hired on by the San Antonio Spurs. Spent time there. Was appointed as a player development coach, and she's been doing her thing, right? We talk about Greg Popovich, how he had Becky Hammon be an assistant coach with him, former WNBA player. He also offered the position to Candice Dupree, and Candice Dupree was with the Spurs for a good bit. And now she is going to Tennessee State University. Now, guys, don't get it confused. She is not going to coach Tennessee University, like not the Lady Vols. She's going to TSU, Tennessee State, not the Lady Vols. All right, so I want to shore up any confusion there. All right. So yeah. Anyway, she is going to be doing her thing at TSU. I am very much interested to see how she does. This is going to be her first head coach position. And we'll see. We will absolutely see. She's a player who's been to a lot of programs. She played at Temple, played for Don Staley, and she went to the WNBA, played for Chicago Sky, played for the Phoenix Mercury. She won a championship with the Phoenix Mercury. She spent some time at other teams, decided to retire, and she's just sort of trying to see what she wants to do at TSU. I'm very much excited for it. I hope that she does well at TSU, because this is gonna be a different program for her. To sort of be the full head honcho for this team. Now, in terms of how good TSU actually is, they're not very good. This past season, they were 11-19 on the season. They have a lot of ways to improve, and they are looking to her to help them do that. Okay, they're looking to her to make that stuff happen. So we'll see what TSU is going to do in the future. Also, just if you guys are interested, they play in the Ohio Valley Conference. So not the most competitive conference in the world. So really a lot of work is cut out for them next season and in the years to come. But shout out to Candice Dupree. Congratulations on your new role at TSU. And I hope that you all have a fantastic season next year. All right. All right. Let's continue on, guys. Let's talk about some of the games of the week. And for this, I do want to actually... All right, let's talk about the games of the week. And I want to actually start off by talking about some of the games I really am going to be paying attention to. So I think for sure the number one, like one of the biggest games of the week that I am anticipating is actually right here, Thursday's game with the New York Liberty versus the Indiana Fever. Now, the reason why I think that this is going to be a really key game is because we're going to see an opportunity to see the reigning Commissioner Cup champs in the New York Liberty facing up against this new look Indiana Fever team. To me, this game is going to tell a lot about not just how good the Indiana Fever is, but also how good the New York Liberty is, because the New York Liberty team is a very different team than last year. They don't have the same pieces as they had last year. And in preseason, they look pretty suspect. Yes, it was preseason, but still, they look pretty suspect. And so I am very much interested to see how this Indiana Fever team fares against this New York Liberty team. So to me, this game is going to be a pretty big game. Again, this one is going to be on Prime. And so, yeah, I really do think that game is going to be really fun. Another game that I think is going to be a fun one to watch is, of course, the rematch between Indiana and New York. But it's this LA Sparks versus Las Vegas Aces game. I always think just the Sparks versus the Aces are always a fun game. It's not necessarily a rivalry, not really, but I just think they're a fun team to watch. I also think that that this Seattle Storm Liberty game is also going to be really good as well. So that one's next week. It's not even technically this week, but I think that's one's going to be a fun game. Of course, I'm going to recommend you all watch the Chicago Sky games. Of course. But to me, this New York Liberty team is not going to be that great this year. I really don't think they're going to be that good this year. And that's why I think those games, to me, the New York Liberty games, are going to be must-watch games, because I just want to see how not good they're going to be. I don't want to say how bad they're going to be, but like how not good they're going to be for the coming season. And so to me, those games are going to be pretty big watches. Okay. So guys, I want to end the show with some channel announcements. All right. So today, I don't know if you all knew, but today I was on Bleacher Report. I did a live stream about Caitlin Clark, and I talked about how I sort of gave my previews about how I think she's going to be this season for the WNBA. Now, guys, if you all want to watch that, you all can go on the Bleacher Report app and watch that. Now, guys, I put a link in the community tab with that game. With that video. So hopefully you all can watch that. Also, I will be on Bleacher Report tomorrow. So that is very, very exciting. I will be on Bleacher Report tomorrow to give a preview of the WNBA season. So shout out to the folks at Bleacher Report for offering me this opportunity. I think it's like pretty phenomenal that I didn't even reach out to them. They reached out to me and they were like, "Hey, we see what you're doing. We would love to have you on our platform." And I was like, heck yeah. If anybody, pretty much my answer to a lot of stuff is like, yes, I absolutely will. Like, cause it's like cool to be, recognized for what we are building here. Like, I think it's pretty awesome that the awesome people of the internet are being noticed. We're being noticed. All right. There are people who are talking about us, and what we are building. And it's pretty amazing. It really is pretty amazing. And it's not just me, guys. This is you guys. This is you guys like really making this thing amazing. So I do want to just another opportunity for me to just say thank you. I really do thank you all for what you all are helping to create. Thank you so much. Thank you for rocking with me. Thank you for all the likes. Thank you for all the subscribes. Thank you for telling people about this channel. This channel only grows because of you guys. You guys are the awesome people on the internet. You guys make this stuff happen. All right. This channel is, I'm just a random person on the internet. I'm a random person on the internet, but you guys are the people who are sort of helping to elevate what we are able to do here. And I am ecstatic about it. I am so happy about it. And I am grateful for it. But I do have another awesome thing to announce. Now this is a huge one, huge announcement, guys. Quita Loves Sports is joining Playback, guys. I am joining Playback, and I am very ecstatic about it. This is another one of those situations where I didn't reach out to them. They reached out to me, and they were like, "Hey, we like what you're doing here. We want to see you on our platform. We want you to join our partners program, and we want you to do your thing on our platform." So guys, I am joining Playback. Y'all can find me on Playback at playback.tv/Quita Loves Sports. Now guys, I will have the ability to live stream games on the WNBA app. So the WNBA app is a great platform. You all can log in and actually quick explainer. So guys, if you don't know what Playback is actually I sort of think of it kind of as like a YouTube of sorts. It is a platform that allows you to do live streams. It's a live stream primarily. It's a live stream and DVR based website. And what you're able to do there is you're actually able to live stream games, and not just, you know how sometimes where people on YouTube will record the games and talk over it, and they have video of the games happening. That's illegal, guys. That is something that is very illegal. Legally, you are not able to do that. I am not able to on this YouTube channel. I am not able to take a WNBA game and stream the game where you're actually watching it and listening to my commentary. That's not possible to do legally on YouTube. But Playback actually have agreements with the NBA and the WNBA. So on Playback, I am actually able to be your commentator for the games. Okay, so that's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. So during games, what I'll do on Playback is I will set up streams for various games. So I would say, as a game suggestion, I'd probably do like a Chicago Sky versus Dallas Wings game, right? That game is on. Let's say that Saturday game, and I say, hey, we're gonna watch that game live on Playback, which means that you guys will tune in to Playback, log into your WNBA League Pass login on Playback, and you'll be able to watch the game. And instead of listening to the audio of the commentators, you'll be able to listen to me. So I'll be able to actually like commentate the games live as you all are watching it in Playback. All right. So that's going to be pretty awesome. I am excited about it. So I hope you all are excited about it as well. If you all can do me a huge favor and go on over to Playback and become a member of my channel. It is absolutely free. There is nothing you have to pay. It is absolutely positively free. So I want you all to go over there and become a member of my channel. Create a login. Again, it is free. And guys, I really do have a ultimate goal of mine. Really is to be a commentator for games. I want to be a commentator, whether that's for college games, whether that's for WNBA, and the fact that I'll be able to do that on Playback and do it live. Now, guys, like that's gonna be huge. And so if y'all want my commentary, it's gonna be there. Okay. Of course, I will still be on YouTube. I will still be on YouTube, but y'all gonna find me during games. Y'all gonna find me on Playback because I'm gonna be live streaming these games where y'all will actually be able to watch them, and it's legal. It's not like a legal thing that people be doing on YouTube. It's gonna be a legal way for us to watch the games together, talk about it together. There will be a chat, and we're gonna have some live commentary. All right. Michaela says, so do we need League Pass to be able to hear your live commentary? Yes, but a League Pass will have those free live preview games that I talked about earlier. But you will need to have a League Pass account. You just need to create one. It's free to create a League Pass account, and you can watch those initial games for free. But yeah, I would in order for you to watch them with me, it would be you would need to have a League Pass account, which I think for the most part, a lot of y'all already have. A lot of y'all already have a League Pass account. But yeah, you will need a League Pass account. But there will be games on League Pass that will be free, so we'll of course cover those games as well. But yeah, guys, it's gonna be really fun. It's gonna be really, really fun for us to watch those games together, for us to talk about those games together without having to worry about any delay or anything like that, because it's real time. It's real time. And I am just over the moon, ecstatic. I'm like, yeah, it's amazing. It truly is amazing how, they were like, oh, we seeing what you doing. We seeing what you're doing. And we want to partner with you. We want you to come on our platform. Like, I think that's huge. And guys, I will give you all an update of when my first stream is. I'm gonna start scheduling them tomorrow. Yeah, there's a picture-in-picture feature. Yeah. It's gonna be a fun time. It is going to be a fun time. And also, I'll be able to bring some of y'all up during halftime, and we can do our own halftime show and whatnot. It's gonna be a good time. So I hope that you all are very, very excited for that. Shout out to the folks at Playback for reaching out to me and us making something happen, guys. It truly is amazing, the power of community, the power of what we can do together. And again, guys, I didn't even reach out to them. I never reached out to Playback. I never reached out to Bleacher Report, and they're seeing organically us, what we're able to do, what we're able to create, and it's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. So Rage the System, that is a great question. It says, so the game audio minus the broadcast commentary plus your commentary, or are the game sounds muted? So you can actually pick. So there's going to be 2 volume levels where you can, if you're actually like, I don't want to hear the commentary of the broadcast. I want to listen to Quita instead. You can turn down the broadcast commentary volume and then increase my volume so you can hear me. But if you guys are like, actually, Quita talking wild, she talking about her Chicago Sky, I don't want to hear that. You can turn down my volume and turn up the broadcast volume. Okay. So yeah. So hopefully that makes sense, because it's gonna be a fun time. It is going to be a fun time. I am so excited about it. Guys, if y'all can hop on and become a member of my channel on Playback, it costs you nothing. It is absolutely free to do. My first stream will likely be on my streams will likely still be my normal lives will still likely happen on YouTube, but I will start to have some sort of feature where I start off on both YouTube and Patreon, or YouTube and Playback, and then I'll move to Playback, especially for the games. So the games will be on Playback. All right. Let's see. So I will still be doing post games for Sky home games. Yes. I will still be doing that. Yep. So you can count on post games from my Sky channel for Sky home games. Now for Sky away games, you're gonna likely see that. Yes, I'll start off on both the Sky channel and the playback, but eventually I'll stop the Sky live stream and then continue on playback. All right, guys, I am so excited about it. Again, shout out to the people at Playback for reaching out to me. This is going to be a fun time, guys. We have been rocking and rolling for over a year now. It is crazy to think about the fact that we almost have 14,000 subscribers, y'all. Almost 14,000 subscribers. We are on our road to 20,000 subscribers. And guys, we just building, man. It's just building blocks. Like that's what we do here. It's about growing the game. It's about talking about the game that we love. It's about giving real commentary. Like, you know, and I think that's the thing I love about this, what we've created, is because what we've created is completely organic. This is completely organic. There's no force behind me. There's no organization behind me. It's just me and you guys. It's me, a random person on the internet, and I'm partnering with the awesome people of the internet, which is you. You know, and we building something special. We building something very special. And I'm excited, guys. I'm excited. I'm grateful. I just appreciate y'all. Yeah. I really am appreciative for what we have created. It's tiring. It's tiring to be doing all these live streams, all these videos, all this research. But guys, I love it. I truly love what I do. Of course, this is not my main thing. I have an actual job that pays me real money. But this is a huge passion project that I am just over the moon about. You all know that, I want to do more stuff in women's basketball. I want to be a referee. That's still a future goal of mine. I want to be a women's basketball commentator. I want to be a person that people go to when it comes to knowledge about women's basketball. Like, I understand that there are powers that be that have been ordained by companies and whatnot. And shout out to those people. I think those people are great. But I like the rise of the independents, the rise of the people who are just creating their own stuff, making everything happen. Guys, it's just me and my mama. It's just me and my mama. Like, she gonna be on tomorrow though. She said she's gonna be on tomorrow. But it's just me and her. Of course, my the rest of my family is like really excited but really, guys, it's primarily just me, and then my mom is able to hop on for some live streams and whatnot. So guys, this the fact that we are doing all this stuff is just cool. It's just cool. So I am grateful. I'm thankful. Thank you all for being truly awesome people of the internet. I really do appreciate y'all, guys. I will talk to y'all tomorrow. Tomorrow, again, reminder, guys. Tomorrow I will be on Bleacher Report. Now that stream is I think it's at 10 o'clock. 10 Central Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time, I believe. I will make sure to post the link before I go live in the community tab. So yeah, I'm going to make sure that you all know about it. Okay, what is this thing? Oh, it's not on my calendar. So, but for sure it's tomorrow though. I'm doing another live tomorrow with Bleacher Report. And guys, again, I will be on playback a lot in the future. So please join my my channel on playback. It is free for you to do that. And when you do that, you will get notifications. You'll get notifications when I go live, okay? All right, so I really do appreciate this. Before I hop off, I do want to say a huge thank you to the folks at Patreon, on the folks on Patreon who are actively supporting this channel every single month. I truly do appreciate your support. I thank you all so much for the folks who are giving to my channel. That is really huge. I missed the super chat. I'm so sorry, Adrian. I'm so sorry. Adrian, sorry about that, says, Caitlin Clark fans are calling for Christy to be fired, saying she's not coaching Caitlin right. Also saying, they need to let some players go if they can't, play how Caitlin Clark needs them to play. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that, Adrian. I think, people didn't realize that, like, coaches are really coaching in the WNBA. And you cannot be the same exact player you were in college in the WNBA, or even from college to the NBA. Like, there's levels to it, right? Just because you did certain stuff in college does not mean that you should do the same thing as a pro. You learn and you grow. And so the idea that people are mad at Christy Sides for saying that, hey, you have to you have 0.5 seconds to make a decision on what you want to do when you get the ball. I don't see what the problem is. I really don't. I really don't see what the problem is about that. A lot of people are upset and they say, oh, she's trying to change Caitlin Clark. What do we not want Caitlin Clark to ever grow? You think she's absolutely perfect the way she is and she never has to get better at anything in women's basketball? I think some people are really off at that. Some people are just very Caitlin Clark centric, and they think that she's absolutely perfect and she doesn't need to grow. Like, this is not me saying that Caitlin Clark isn't great. She is, but coaches help players get better. If players never needed coaches, then there would be no coaches. Christy Sides is going to challenge Caitlin Clark. She's going to challenge her. And I think it's going to be fun to watch. I think, and again, I'm not even sure. Again, I feel neutral on Christy Sides as a coach, because I think she's still a very new head coach, and I'm still interested to see how she sort of evolves as a coach. But, like, I really don't think that that there's anything there. But Adrian, I have been seeing what you're seeing. I've seen a lot of people saying Christy Sides is evil, she's horrible, she doesn't know what she's doing, and blah blah blah, just because she is trying to give Caitlin Clark instruction. Like, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? So to me, I don't get it. I really don't. I really don't get it. But Adrian, I do thank you so much for the super chat. I do apologize for missing the super chat earlier. I do apologize for that. Tracy says, I love your content because you drop the knowledge that sports fans need. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I try to. Kai says, I only watch Fever games. If you call a Fever game, I'll definitely give you a listen. It's always a good thing to be recognized by your peers. Yeah, I'll do some fears, some Fever games for sure. I do some Fever games, and what I'll do is, guys, I will tomorrow I will be putting up a schedule on my communities tab. I'll be putting up a schedule that goes through when you all can expect live streams, both on YouTube and also on playback, so you all can just be aware of what is going on. So yeah, I am going to keep you all. I'm going to keep you all in the loop about what's going on.
Shout out to Ezra. Thank you so much for the super chat. Ezra says, just dropped into the stream. New time, WNBA fan. And I've learned a lot from watching your videos. Keep it up and excited for the season to begin. Ezra, thank you so much. Wow. Guys, shout out to Ezra for the first super chat on the live stream. Thank you so much for joining the community. Yeah, I mean that's you're gonna get a lot of information here. You're gonna get a lot of information about the historical part of the WNBA, about some of the players, some of the teams, and I'm excited that you have joined the channel. I am excited about what we're gonna do here because we're gonna keep growing. We're gonna keep talking about the game. We're gonna be organically ourselves, and we're gonna just do this thing. And we're gonna see who looks. We're gonna see who looks. Um, yeah, we're gonna see who looks. Didi says, the sky is the limit, Quita. This is your proving ground. Nothing you can't do. I mean, I could do all things through Christ that strengthens me. That's for sure. Um, but yeah, truly. But I I make stuff. I I make the videos, but you guys are makes what makes this thing flourish. You guys really are. So I appreciate you so much. I really do. Let's see. Let's see. Anything else y'all want to say? Oh, thank you so much. Adrian says, Quitty, you're the best thing that has ever happened to women's basketball internet this year. Oh, I appreciate that. I mean that's huge. That's huge accolades right there. There's a lot of stuff on new for women's basketball. So that's huge. That's huge praise right there. I appreciate that. Let's see. Alyssa says, please put playback link in the description too. Yeah, I will do that. Good idea. Good idea. I will do that. BJ, so yeah, we are uh I made an announcement saying that Quita Loves Sports is going over to Playback. Playback is a live stream website, sports live stream website that covers lots of different sports. But Playback has a agreement with both the NBA and the WNBA to actually play games live on Playback, which means that you know how sometimes you may see people, recording using their phone to record a game on their screen, and it's they're doing it live and they have commentary. That's illegal to do. But on playback, uh, they can actually do that live and it's legal because they have an agreement with the WNBA. Playback reached out to me asking me to join their platform because they saw what we've built here on this channel, and they want to partner in that way. And so we are going to be on Patreon for live streams of games. So during games, you'll be able to go on Patreon or not Patreon. I keep saying Patreon. It's two P's. It's confusing. You're going to be able to go on playback and be able to actually listen to my commentary as the game is happening. So you'll be able to watch the game and have my commentary. I'll be like a little box on your screen where you'll be able to hear what I have to say about the game. And I'm gonna be taking this stuff serious. I am not gonna be just doing like random conversation, guys. Ultimately, I want to be I want to do everything that's possible in the space of women's basketball, right? And that also means being a play by play analyst. So guys, I will be doing play by play calling of a game. Now, I am excited about it. I am kind of nervous about it. I think it's going to be fun. I think we're going to see a lot of growth as the games go on. um, guys, I'm gonna make this thing like legit. It's not gonna be me just saying this happened and blah blah blah. Nah, we taking this serious, and this is going to be the I want this commentary to be of the level of what you hear on ESPN and even better in terms of the commentary you hear about the backstory of players, about what's happening on the court, like all that good stuff. Because yeah, that's what this is going to be. Okay, this is not going to just be uh, uh, random talk. No, we about to have. It's about to be legit. It's about to be legit. That is the goal. That really is the goal. All right. Now, guys, I will be covering all teams. Of course, there will be a heavier emphasis on the Chicago Sky games, but I will be doing every single team. So, regardless if your team is the Lynx or the Sparks or the Aces or the Fever, doesn't matter. I'm gonna cover it all. Okay. I'm gonna do as much as I possibly can. Because guys, again, remember I do have a regular job. So I won't really do any of the daytime games, but for sure the nighttime games, I will be doing just about all of them. So basically, anytime I'll be watching games, I'll be doing it live with y'all, calling the game as it's happening, and we about to have a lot of fun. Okay, we are about to have a lot of fun. So I am ecstatic. I am happy that you all are happy for me. I hope you all join me on playback. Again, I'm going to drop the link one more time. That is the link, playback.tv/Quita Loves Sports. So again, thank you so much. I really do appreciate FM. No. Nah. FM. That's how I make money. Nah. Guys, why I love doing this, there's not much of any money on doing this. There's not much of any money doing this. I do it because I love it. Yes, I make a little bit of money, but it's not much at all. So I love my regular job, and I gotta stay there because that's how I'm making money. So let's see. Let's see. Dave says, Quita, we all owe you the service of spreading your name. You seem to know women's basketball more than others. Thank you. Please spread. Tell a family member, tell a friend, tell everybody that Quita Loves Sports is here talking about women's basketball, making it easy for people who are new and old to understand what's going on in the game, providing you all with commentary you didn't know you wanted. And when you get it, you're happy. So I appreciate y'all. I just dropped the link in. Thank you so much, LSU Tiger 2. For the super chat says, quit your job, Quita, more coverage. I can't do that, no. I appreciate the super chat, but no. First of all, I really do like my job, my actual job. And secondly, there's not enough money in this to actually forge a living. I think if I did that, I would have to try to work at an ESPN or something like that to try to make ends meet. But this, while I love it, it's not enough money to actually sustain myself. It's not. But I appreciate the super chat though. But yeah, I'm not leaving my job though. I'm not doing that. All right. Mike says, Quita, do you already have a preview of the Connecticut Sun? I need to do that tonight. So I have previews for the Las Vegas Aces, for the Dallas Wings. I have more teams to do. I did take off of my job tomorrow, so hopefully I will be able to hopefully I'll be able to get all of those done. I have 10 more teams to do. 10 more teams to do, guys. So I will try my best to get that out. The goal is to get all 12 teams done and out before the WNBA season tips off tomorrow. Will I be able to accomplish it? I don't know. I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna try my best. I am going to try my best. Okay. I did play in high school. Yeah, I played in high school. Yep. Kyra says, Kyra watched the Fran Harris documentary. It was great. Yeah, I watched that. Yep, I watched that. Oh, Fran Harris is legend. More people need to know that name. High vibration says, can you make a video on player housing for rookies in the W? Sure. That's gonna take a lot of research because, to be honest with you, that is one of those rare topics for the WNBA that I actually don't really know much about. So I will try to find what I can find and I will present it to y'all. Okay. High vibrations. I will try to find what I can find. All right. Again, guys, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for rocking with me. Now CAC, here's the thing. Like that is one of those things, because I like just do this all by myself. That is one of those things that has fallen to the wayside. And the crazy thing is I have the designs. I am like I just need to buy the shirt blanks. I'm be heat pressing it myself. I'm gonna be doing it myself just to make sure quality control is all good. And guys, I'm gonna make it happen. But guys, I do apologize for that. That is one thing where while I'm cranking out all these live streams and all these videos and stuff, that is the one thing that has suffered. That is the one thing that has suffered, is my ability to get all set to go with the clothing stuff. I want to do it. I'm excited about doing it, but I just need like a little bit more mental bandwidth to actually make that happen. But it's coming. I do apologize for the delay, guys. Guys, I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Thank you so much. I hope you all have a fantastic day. If you all just joined, I highly recommend you all go back to the beginning of the live stream, because this is our first edition of Women's Basketball Weekly Live. And guys, I want to know, do y'all want to see more live editions of Women's Basketball Weekly, or do you all like the produced version? So the produced version is usually, yes, I cover the same amount of content, but I do make it shorter. So the produced versions are a lot shorter, same content, but a lot shorter. But the live streams allow me to elaborate a little bit more and go back and forth with you all. So let me know if you all want me to actually if you all actually want me to do these live streams for Women's Basketball Weekly, or do you all want the produced version? Just let me know. Let me know what you all want, and I will make that happen, guys. Again, I appreciate y'all. I thank y'all so much for rocking with me. Guys, until next time, have a fantastic night, and I will talk to you all tomorrow, okay? Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.